Is this warranted? Do you feel like investors are missing something perhaps?
我想肯定我们的长期的价
I think our investors don't understand our long-term value. For the standpoint of NIO, we have faith in our long-term value.
NIO stock reached all-time highs on Tuesday, and today one share is worth around $27.5 after going down 3%. Is NIO in a bubble right now, just waiting to pop? And lastly, what are the price targets and predictions for 2021 and beyond, and is this something worth investing in today? If you're new here, my name is Sam and welcome to the channel. If you found this valuable, please press that like button. It would help out my channel a lot. Also, subscribe if you want to see more updates on these companies. Apparently, 95% of my viewership is not subscribed to the channel, so it would be awesome if we could change that. Now, back to NIO. Looking at the chart, NIO had a big run-up on October 14 and 15. There was a huge bull sentiment during that time, and there were a lot of options being bought. With an option volume of 2 million, over 80% of those options were call options, meaning people were betting on NIO going up in the short term. And when people start exercising these options and buying shares instead, that will lead to the price going up even more, which in turn leads to more people exercising their options and buying even more shares, almost creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. So this rally was also supported by the JP Morgan analyst Nick Lay, who upgraded NIO from hold to buy and increased his price target for the stock from $14 to $40. And then it got kind of a life of its own as investors who don't normally follow NIO started buying options to ride the uptrend and make a quick buck. So naturally, after this kind of rally, a correction is expected, and NIO went all the way down to $26 a share on Monday in the broader market sell-off, which was due to factors completely outside of NIO's control. Which takes us back to the present. After jumping up almost 10% on Tuesday, it is at the time of this video down 3%. It's obviously happening in a very broad market correction, as almost everything else is losing value today, but this volatility still makes you wonder, is NIO in a bubble right now, and are we due for a big correction in the stock? First, I just want to point out that NIO as a company, not just as a stock, has been doing very well despite all the struggles the world is going through right now. Unlike many of the other companies that were hit on Monday, for starters, NIO doesn't yet sell vehicles in either the US or Europe and only in China. And China appears to have things under control at the moment, at least. On top of that, NIO is expected to deliver a strong result when it reports third quarter earnings next month. Their sales surged 154% in the quarter from a year earlier, with 12,206 vehicles delivered, solidly beating NIO's own guidance from August. NIO also launched its new EC6, a sporty crossover, in September as planned. NIO also successfully raised capital to buy back some of the equity it gave up in a bailout deal in May. NIO also completed work on its production line that allows it to increase its monthly output from roughly 4,000 vehicles to about 5,000. NIO also launched its batteries by subscription program, substantially lowering the initial purchasing cost of its vehicles for buyers who opt into the plan, basically making it easier and more affordable for people to buy their cars. So yes, NIO stock is volatile, but it still seems like investors who understand the company are using these dips as buying opportunities to buy shares at cheaper prices. And investors are now looking ahead to NIO's third quarter report, not only for the numbers, but for some insight into what lies ahead for the fast-growing carmaker. The company hasn't yet announced a date for this report, but I expect to see it in around mid-November. So is NIO in a bubble right now? Regardless of all these bullish points I just mentioned, it is still quite close to its all-time highs. I do think this price is justified fundamentally due to everything I said earlier, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another technical correction of 10 or more percent before the current price can finally be established as a support level. So obviously NIO is still operating in a very tough market with lots of competition, and there is no guarantee that it will start dominating in China. But the good news here is that this is absolutely not priced in. So the stock can totally go through the same journey in valuation as Tesla had. if it actually comes to being successful in the markets. But unlike Tesla, NIO has not posted a profitable quarter yet, so that would be huge for the company. And with that said, NIO's CEO, William Li, has a set goal of producing a total of 150,000 units during 2021, which implies an increase of around 28,000 units per quarter in a single year. A very, very bold forecast. So such an increase in production, assuming that the majority of the vehicles will be sold, could push NIO revenues very much higher, but it is hard to estimate that it would be enough to take NIO all the way to turning a profit. But regardless, I don't think this forecast is priced in at all right now, and the share price has a long way to go if it actually happens. And now let's take a look at the institutional money going into NIO and the different price targets the analysts have set for the stock. So the hedge funds, investors with tons of money who hire people to analyze companies for them to maximize returns of their investments, really do believe in NIO. Just this quarter, we have already seen $171 million of shares being bought, with just $1 million of shares being sold. So the buy to sale ratio is just insane, which means that these people are not in NIO just for some short-term trades, but rather to hold it for the long term, expecting some very nice capital appreciation. These people are also not as concerned with the short-term movements, and I don't think we should be either, as long as we believe in NIO as a company. So what are the different price targets set for NIO? The 16 analysts offering a 12-month price forecast for NIO have a median target of $135.47, with a high estimate of $269.54 and a low estimate of $44.12. So the median estimate represents an almost 400% increase from its current price. But for someone looking to get into NIO in the near future, it might be a good idea to dollar cost average and just buy a couple of shares every week for a longer time period, since I would not be surprised if it corrected back a bit after this run-up. It is after all a very volatile stock. But if I wanted to hold it more than a year anyways, there would be nothing wrong with buying everything at once, since those couple of percents up or down won't matter in a year or two. To summarize, we might see a technical correction in the coming weeks, but with time I think we will form a strong support level at the $28 mark, and I wouldn't at all say that NIO is in a bubble right now. But with that said, it is always important to remember the risky nature of this company, who hasn't even turned a profit yet, but I do think the possible upside outweighs this risk. Just imagine almost 10xing your money if NIO actually manages to hit that $269.54 share price. That is insanity for such a short time period. So that concludes today's video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. And as I said earlier, 95% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel, so please subscribe if you want to see more similar content. It really encourages me to work harder and provide more stock updates. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.